Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. The regular season is just about to conclude in the regions around the world, and Laos, the team that won Champions in 2022, was very competitive at last year's Championship in 2023, will not even be going to the playoffs, and their season is now done and dusted, eliminated from the year by none other than Aspas, the player that left them last year to join Leviathan. What is going on with this organisation? What is the future for Brazilian VALORANT? What major changes might well be necessary around the world of VALORANT to make this happen, and what does this mean for the situation in the Americas as to which teams themselves are actually going to make the playoffs, and what do the standings look like going into the World Championship? Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Plenty of course to get into today. Here are the Sentinels boys. They are good for the playoffs, they've got that locked in, and they're in a pretty good spot to make it as well to the World Championship. If they beat G2, they will secure themselves enough championship points to qualify automatically, but Lev's win yesterday does still add a little bit of jeopardy to that, as we shall see over the coming minutes. We'll get, of course, into the Louds game in the coming minutes here. Pretty interesting that Sadak and Toys, they were playing a ranked game, and basically, as Noya says, these guys had to leave. They had to leave mid-match to go to play their match, and she's like, yeah, damn, well, I just got costed, basically, for some of those points, and they were kind of nice about it, but in the end, they left early, and therefore they got rewarded with a pretty bad KDA, and, well, they went on to lose their series as well, but we'll dive into that in a second. Just to quickly give you guys a snapshot update on the various regions, this is how things look in EMEA. It's absolutely all to play for going into the final couple of games over there, but Fnatic, they are 6-3, they're going to be good for the playoffs, and they do have, as it stands, the most total points from Stage 1, and here we are in Stage 2 as well, so they're at 12 points. Heretics, it's funny, isn't it? Like, they were so good, they made the internationals. They made it very deep in the internationals, as did KC. But, okay, KC got 3 for the kickoff, but it's just like Masters 1, every team that wasn't the winner got, like, no points. So, in the end, the best teams have risen to the top here, but I definitely think that the teams that made it to the internationals should have got some sort of championship points, rather than it basically just be for the regular qualifiers, because, here's Fnatic at 12 total points, and they're in a good spot, and they're going to make it to champions very likely indeed, and as you go further down, it ain't looking good for a few of these guys. A couple of other big stories, though, to mention. So Gen.G, 2-0 versus Global Esports, and this GA team, they ain't great again. I don't know what it is, really, with Global Esports as an organization, but whoever they bring in, it just tends to be embarrassing. And I know that Gen.G are like one of the best teams, if not the best team in the world right now, given what they did, winning Masters Shanghai, but GE got just clapped around here. Russ was triple negative 11 and 30. The Lotus was 13-1. The Ascent was 13-6. So apart from these 5 rounds in a row that they won, they got completely annihilated by Gen.G, and yeah, it was just very embarrassing. And the thing is, for G, like, what do they do now, right? What changes are they actually going to make to their roster? Where do you go from here? Because again, their season is basically done and dusted, and this is where they find themselves, right? So 3-7, they're not going to make it to the playoffs, they're not going to make it to the World Championship. Their year is now done, and 1-3 in their group this particular stage. There's a 1 game ongoing right now. We'll have a look at it in a second. The other 2 games of yesterday, Direx took down DFM, Zeta took down Talon, but in the grand scheme of things, those games aren't going to matter that much either, because Zeta are still 3-6, Talon 6-4, but they're going to make it, it seems, regardless. So, good win for Zeta, but in the end, it was a little bit too little, too late. Direx, we know that they're going to be fine. This is interesting, though, Gen.G versus Team Secret, because Secret have always been in that position lately of just being able to put up a good fight, or being pretty competitive with the top teams, but never quite having enough in the tank. The final game, though, looks like it's going to go the way of Gen.G. It's currently 9-4 on the split. The Sunset was 13-6 to Team Secret, though, very impressive on their pick. Lotus, they bounce back Gen.G, and then the split looks like it's going to go Gen.G's way after a solid first half on their defensive side. But, whether they can get the job done remains to be seen. But fair play to Team Secret. They're looking obviously pretty nice, and the way that the championship standings look like now are as follows. They're looking pretty nice and will be in the playoffs regardless. They won't, however, have enough points to qualify automatically for champions. They will have to get top 3 Team Secrets at the playoffs if they want to make it to champions. This is the way that it looks right now. It's all to play for here, really, at the top, because Gen.G got 3 points at the kickoff, they got 3 points at Masters 2, but because Paper X have done well this stage 1, now stage 2, they've got lots of points on the board as well. So likely, these teams will qualify for champs anyway, but the team with the most points will make it. That's basically how it works, right? Top 3 at the playoffs, and then the top team with the most points outside of that makes it from the standings as well. So, yeah, Paper X or Gen.G will be basically guaranteed it, but it could be Gen.G, and maybe it should be Gen.G on their performance so far this season, really. I just think that in hindsight, like, Riot have to consider how many points are actually given out for some of these event victories, because, like, if you win Masters 2, you really should be guaranteed the spot at the championship. I think it's the same for Masters 1. Like, if you win Madrid or Shanghai, like, you should absolutely be at champions. No, absolutely no questions about it. But it's not guaranteed, and even Sentinels are having to fight for that right now. Quickly in the Chinese side, Edward Gaming, bit of a bounce back for them, right? They've looked at these changes. Simon has come into their roster. They've changed around the coaching staff and stuff like this. And BLG, of course, we know them to be a pretty good team. We know that in the past what they've achieved against teams like NRG, and like, it was 13-11 on the Icebox, so that was competitive, but then 13-8. So yeah, not exactly crushing from Edward Gaming. We got a good bounce back series for them. They're going to be at champions anyway, but it's just worth noting that, their trajectory, because after going down to DRG, after going down to Wolves, they bounced back with a 4-0 run against Nova and BLG, so that's kind of nice for them. I will say for DRG though, they, after beating Edward Gaming and looking really good, they then went down to BLG and then to Wolves. They got 2-0'd by Wolves. Like, they got crushed in this one, 13-7, 13-6. And that leaves Dragon Ranger Gaming, despite they looked so good, these guys, to make it to the playoffs at least, they then ended up 4-6, and now they're not going to make it. So, yeah, pretty sad stuff for them, because I genuinely thought that they were going to be good enough to maybe do some damage. But, no, not how it worked out in the end. These are the points, by the way, over there. So Edward are at 17 points, FPX are at 11. Now, both of these teams are therefore guaranteed World Championship qualification, because one of them will make it, and the other one is going to be like guaranteed top seed from their region, which means they get the bye, which means that basically one of these guys will be top 3 minimum at the playoffs, and then the other one will have enough points to get through. So pretty much both of these are guaranteed champs. So you're fighting for 2 spots, really, if you're in China, for who are going to be the final teams to actually potentially attend. But let's talk about the Americas, because this Loud situation continues to kind of amaze. They had drama earlier on. They got rid of Quick from their roster, of course. They made the change. Pancada comes in. Pancada's been pretty good since he's come in, but clearly the team is somewhat broken from top to bottom. And the fact that Aspas, after leaving last year, after some of the internal drama they had, Aspas and the team having a bit of a falling out maybe during that World Championship period, he leaves for Lev, and well, guess what? He himself effectively ends Loud's season, as we see here. So a 13-11 Lotus, a 13-6 on the Icebox in the end. Not even that competitive, certainly at the end of the Icebox. These are some of the clips.
There's a double Hunter's Fury that's about to come out. One to break the lockdown on the defensive side. It gets broken. And the one on the attack trying to get some kills, but it works out in the favor of Loud.
Wait, what?
To stay alive in this game, they'll be able to do so. Lockdown available on the defensive side, but it's a 4-on-2 in favor of Loud. Aspas still holding his ground at the generator. 2 more kills needed. Dashes away as the spike is still ticking. Up towards the A site.
Oh my god, stop it.
1 more kill to go. As less.
Stop it! Holy fuck. Wait, that was a statement. Wait, that was personal. Wait, that felt personal. That felt personal.
And in a fashion that teams
God
better
damn.
be watching. Really nice consistency out of the team, despite no matter who.
Oh shit, it's him.
So I gotta ask you this: going up against Loud, do you think you as a duelist, what are your confidence levels as a duelist going up against Loud?
I think my confidence is like always on top, because if you are playing duelist and you don't have confidence, you are probably in the wrong role. So
damn, shots fired to who? Probably me.
I'm super confident.
That's good. Now, historically, Lev have yet to beat Loud. Do you think today is the day?
Maybe today is the day, but we're gonna see in the match soon.
Exciting stuff,
damn,
man. Can't
bro.
wait to see it. Good luck.
Damn, bro. Shots fired, bro.
Well, good thing is we have a duelist who is very confident.
Who's he talking shit to? Not me.
So for the first time in Loud's history, they will not be attending 2 international events in a season, eliminated from playoffs contention, therefore eliminated based on the standings from World Championship contention as well. So, how did it come to this point, right? Because Loud are 3-6, that's, it's not going to be good enough for them. They need to get to 5-5, they need to beat Lev. Didn't happen in the end, of course, and even their final game against 100T is not exactly going to be easy either at all, but at this point it doesn't really matter. The question is about the rebuild. Where do you go from here? And the fact that Aspas leaves those guys, joins Lev, and they're 8-1. They're looking really good. They're, pretty much guaranteed, you would think, a spot at the World Championship on the way that they're presently playing. But honestly, who knows, given the strength of that region. We did also have another interesting game there between G2 and Crew. It was a 2-1 for G2 again. So this was quite telling. 13-4 for Crew game 1, but then G2 bounced back. So it's interesting how G2 historically, they do kind of like to choke a little bit. Game 1 wasn't great after they won the pistol, but then Crew, they are the biggest chokers as of late, because G2 then bring it back in a 16-14 banger ascent, and then Crew completely fall apart 13-5 on the split. So yeah, that was a rough one. This ascent may live on in the memory of Crew Esports here, because they're 0-3 now at this stage. They're 5-4, but they literally started 5-0, and they're on the verge of potentially even dropping out. But even that one map win might turn out to be crucial for Crew in the grand scheme of things. This is therefore how it looks in the Americas right now. But what do you do with this Loud team, as we see that Sadak says, eliminated from the VCT Americas, full of strong emotions. To our fans, we tried. And look, as you can see again in that particular series that I just brought up a second ago, let's have a look back at it. We've got Sadak changing this time off the Neon. He was on the Breach, on the K. They decided to put it away. And, Toys was therefore on the Rays. But no Jet on the Icebox they decided to run with, which, maybe didn't work out when Aspas is running it. But I guess if you do run the Jet, you're going to get Jet diffed by Aspas. So maybe there is really no winning. But just Brazilian, the scene in general there, like even in Counter-Strike, certainly in Valorant, not in a great spot. And Loud, their season is now done. What sort of rebuild do they go for? Do they get Demon 1, as has been suggested by others? This, though, is how things look in the Americas, right? So Sentinels, they have the most points, but of course, they didn't go to Masters 2, therefore they didn't get any points there. And for Stage 2, they're doing okay so far, but they need to win a couple more series if they want to secure it, because Lev are at 11, Senna at 12. But a win against G2 for Sentinels, that will prove enough for them. And just a quick look at the upcoming matches in the region, of course, over the next couple of days to effectively round out what has been a pretty incredible and remarkable season in many respects. But very much interested your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.